The polling for President Biden is really bad, and it's not getting better as we get closer to the election. So here are some head-to-head polls with Biden trailing Trump by 4 points, 3 points. He's even with DeSantis or slightly ahead of him in a different poll, and these are all done within the last week. So these are current polls. This one has Trump up by 7 points. And as you keep going, we even have some state polls. Here's the critical state of Pennsylvania. We have Trump ahead by a point in this poll. So it's still early, but it's worth reminding everyone this is head-to-head polling against a former president who is under indictment for federal charges, and Biden is still trailing him by 2 points, 3 points, 4 points. And these were all taken before the student debt decision as Biden's domestic policy agenda continues to crumble. So what does this mean for Joe Biden's reelection chances? And is it a good time once again to consider whether the Democrats should earnestly search for another candidate? Jeff, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the reason we just announced at Roots Action that we've got this stepasidejoe.org campaign is because we're so fearful of the victory of the neo-fascists in November 2024. If you get all of your news from MSNBC, CNN, or NPR, you have this image of Biden as he's the second coming of FDR, and he's always fighting for major accomplishments. Well, that's not how he's seen by the swing voters. That's not how he's seen. He's seen as weak, as over the hill, as someone who vacillates. And the Republican extremism proved in the wake of the Dobbs decision, the Supreme Court decision ending the right to abortion as a nationwide right. The extremism of the right wing will let Democrats to go so far, even if they don't have a candidate or they don't have a decent candidate. But it's not in a presidential election, it becomes person A versus person B. And if person A is Joe Biden, who's seen universally as weak, that the 90% of Democrats under 30 want some other Democratic candidate other than Biden. And as Anya was saying, the recent environmental choices made by the Biden administration almost seems like they're intending to do voter suppression of their most loyal base, which is young people, as well, obviously Black voters and Black women voters, but young voters really turned out in 2022 in the congressional elections against the extremism of the right wing. But now you have Biden drilling in the Arctic, he's drilling in the Gulf, he's expanded liquefied natural gas exports, he's promoting those. The scientists keep saying you need to keep the fossil fuel in the ground. And a lot of young activists who could be the most important activists in deciding who will win the November 2024 presidential election, they're utterly frustrated with Biden. So, obviously at Roots Action, it's step aside Joe, open up the primary process. We want debates. We want a lot of Democratic candidates, not just the three we have. And, we're going to work hard in the next few months to try to get Biden to step aside.